Hello there, it's Patrina again with Do You Have a Couple Minutes? And today I want to know if you have a couple minutes to talk about relationship progression and change. When it comes to relationships, it's pretty easy for us to see how things change in personal relationships, such as a child being cared for and eventually maybe flipping those roles into maturity and being the adult that is caring for their parents. In our working relationships, there are also shifts and changes, sometimes holding on to the initial scope of a relationship may not be the best thing for that relationship. For example, we're not always going to be the new person with little experience requiring frequent, oversight or direction. We can grow and mature to being knowledgeable and experienced to a degree that allows us to see breakthrough and new discoveries and to support the growth of others. And as we grow and mature, what we benefit from in a relationship will necessarily change. When our ability to contribute to a relationship and our needs in a relationship change, the relationship must also grow and change to remain relevant and beneficial, or we'll need to seek to use our skills, our abilities, and our knowledge in other relationships or activities. Kind of take this example of a student who may want to become a scientist. Initially, that student must learn the basics of their specific scientific field, and then they need to apply that knowledge. Practice and experience is going to provide them with new levels of confidence and knowledge that might eclipse what their teacher was teaching them. And then the person that was once in the teacher role may later become an advisor to them, a mentor to them, or maybe just a colleague to them, which meets different needs than that initial student teacher relationship. And likewise, that former student may become the teacher. In the professional work setting, we also have the ability to grow and experience growth. And we need to be mindful that these types of relationships or the relationships that helped us get to a new level of opportunity or success may actually run their useful life cycle, and those relationships may require reevaluation or restructuring. Sometimes we seem to mature in our relationships almost kind of instinctively, and we assume greater scopes of responsibility or new roles. And then there are other times where the relationships don't seem to grow. They seem to be more limited in terms of future opportunity for growth in those relationships. And in those cases, there's going to be greater change that is required. So we need to think about relationships in different ways. Some relationships are seasonal, some are situational, some are lifelong. And all relationships have a life cycle, and we need to pay attention and really understand that life cycle and understand our role in those relationships so that they remain relevant and they remain beneficial. If we're being truthful to ourselves and others, we can appreciate that the life cycle of a relationship symbolizes growth, and growth requires change. So I want you to think about your relationships and really define how you serve in those relationships, how you are served in those relationships, and how you can help others in those relationships. When you define those things, it will help you to really be honest with yourself regarding the life cycle of those relationships and the action that you can take to ensure that your relationships remain relevant and that you give yourself the opportunity and room to develop new relationships that will also be relevant and beneficial. And with that, that is my few minutes for today. I hope that you found that this has been a topic that's been inspiring, something to help you think, learn, grow, and ultimately lead a more fulfilling life. I hope that if you are enjoying these messages that you will like them and share them with others so that they can come along our learning journey as well. Please be sure to check out the show notes for a summary of today's session, as well as contact information if you'd like to be in touch, and information on how to get my recent publications. I'm so appreciative of you being here with me today, and I sure hope to see you back next time. Until then, bye bye.